Alrighty then, Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus, episode 847, Building a Realistic Production Schedule. So, how many books are you going to write? Whether this year, whether this month, whether the next 5 years, it's all up to you. There's no pressure. You have to determine. First, you have to determine how many words you average a day. Even if you're only write on the weekends because you've got a day job. Hey, that's okay. Write on or in the evenings or just 30 minutes in the morning, whatever it is. That's where you start your calculation. You don't base it on what, hey, anybody else is going to do 2,000 words a day, so I need to do 14,000 words a week, which means, and you do the math out and say, okay, now, if that's not realistic for you, don't use that calculation. Use what matters to you. So if you only get 2,000 words a week, great. How long is your book going to be? 80,000 words? That means 40 weeks. No problem. Now, important safety tip. Because stuff happens, and sometimes you may write faster, but sometimes you're probably going to write slower, or something's going to impact, some tragedy or catastrophe happens and you can't write. No sweat. Whatever I do on my deadlines, I average like 2,000 words a day, although this last book, I'm averaging just under 1,400 words a day for the last 35 days. So not making a whole lot of progress fast. Good thing I add 50% to my deadlines. So if I think I'm going to get it done in a month, I make it my deadline. And I wouldn't use word deadline. I use it. Don't you use it. I suggest you say target date. That's just your target date. So I add 50%. So if I think I can do it in a month, I'm going to make it 6 weeks on my master schedule. Now, I live and die by that schedule. I need to get these books done because I promised my readers. Manage reader expectations. My readers are expecting a book. So 6 weeks. I have not a deadline. I have deadline. You don't have deadlines. You need to have target dates that you shoot for. How many words a day? How many words a week do you write? Multiply it out. Simple math. Simple math comes back to, are you getting the words? Is it hard to get the words? Is it easy to get the words? That's all on you. Calculate it out. It's simple. Use a spreadsheet, use a calculator, easy day. But I track my word count. I track my word count so I know exactly how much production I get. So you multiply by 150%, then you try to make sure you get it done by the original target date and not that 150% target date. Because if you can consistently do that, then you can draw back your estimates. And also that gives you bonus titles, bonus books that you've been able to write, and now you can publish them. You can't learn until you get that book out there and get that feedback that helps you write better. Continuous improvement mindset. So after getting your words a few times and hitting your target word count for month in, month out, I've been doing this for 8 going on 9 years now. And so, yes, I'm okay with my word count. I know I can surge if need be, but surging nowadays isn't 10,000 words a day. It might be 4,000 words a day. That's because I'm old and broken. So, but 4,000, that's okay. I'm not overcommitting. Don't overcommit because you're going to stress yourself out and it's going to be miserable. And it's going to be too much like a job. And who wants a job? Especially when you can write books for a living. Now, one thing that you don't want to do for your health and wellness is don't infringe on the time that you give others, like your family, like your friends, like things that you need to do. Hey, I have to travel back to a family reunion. Block that and don't take that into account when you're counting your 2,000 words a week or whatever it is. Make sure you give yourself time that you don't take away from others, and that includes your sleep time. Ooh, let me get, instead of getting 8 hours of sleep, I'm gonna do great on 6 hours of sleep. Fine if you're like 18 or 20, but not if you're 61. That 6 hours or 4 hours of sleep, it doesn't work. You need more than that. So make sure you don't take away time from others. Take away time from yourself that you absolutely must have. So back to your original calculation, how many words realistically can you get in a week? And then you can also help yourself by removing distractions. As you get older, the kids are out of the house, fewer distractions, but there's other things that come up because you're the adult's adult now. You're not just an adult, you're an adult's adult. So you have to advise others like your adult children, and there's stuff that you need to do. 150%, you're going to give yourself a lot less stress And it's important in the creative mind to have less stress, because then it opens you up and you're freer to create, to write, to use your artistic side to deliver a good quality story. All right. Continuous improvement. Know your word count and calculate it out. That's really, there's not too much more to it than that. But be honest with yourself. That's the most important thing you can do. Don't estimate 20,000 words a week if you only got that one time in your whole life. Don't estimate that, because that's unrealistic and you put too much pressure on yourself. Don't do that to yourself. You deserve better. Don't be a bad boss. Peace, fellow humans.